I feel like we had a pretty productive meeting. I did have to get like a stick of gum because it's like the only thing that can keep my mouth actually like moist. Because I don't know, like how long can anyone out there, how long can you talk out loud before your mouth gets like extremely dry? I think for me it's like 30 minutes, which is not great. And I don't know, like people say if your mouth's dry, you should drink more water. But I've had it. Like if I ever drink water, it makes my mouth more dry. I don't know if that's like a common I think, let me see, can I turn down my exposure a little bit more? That's like, I wish there was like a setting between these two. But like there is like drinking water makes my mouth more dry, and I don't know if that's like a purely me thing or what's going on there. Remind me this week to buy a new webcam. I hate the one that I currently have. Anyways, let's see what is going on in the news today. An EPA increase, a risky endeavor. The decision to increase the Energy Protection Act threshold of 49% by President Anton Rayne has been met with criticism. Critics argue that such a drastic shift could leave Sordland's strategic energy sector exposed to the dangers of foreign influence, with potential detrimental effects on our national security and economy. While it's necessary to invite foreign investment, it's equally crucial to safeguard our national interest. Decision makers must tread this delicate balance with utmost care. In a surprising turn, the government's decision to raise the EPA threshold to 49% has been hailed by some as an opportunity for growth. This move could stimulate foreign investment, potentially leading to a much-needed boost in our struggling energy sector. The change represents a significant shift in policy priorities, and it's yet to be seen whether this will bear fruit. You know what we could do? I probably also can like buy like blackout curtains instead of orange ones. That also might help with the whole orange that I've got going on over here. Because like it depends on depending on what time I stream. You know, if I stream at like 10 p.m., obviously the sun's not coming through the window that's behind me. I mean, I guess I could also move my desk, but there's not really anywhere else I could put it that would make sense. So, I mean, what if I had like on this wall, like over here maybe? I mean, that could maybe work. But that'd also be a pain in the ass. I mean, this is stuff not for you. This is for me. Okay. The recent proposition to elevate the EPA threshold to 49% merits substantial contemplation. These potential changes does not just shift a number. It opens doors for Sordland's economy, paving the way for global collaboration and potential prosperity. While detractors may protest, the economic data suggests that a higher foreign ownership limit can drive economic growth, innovation, and healthy competition, vital for a robust functioning of a free market economy. Okay. I mean, the economy is still looking bad. I mean, I feel like there's not really anything we could have done so far to fix this. We haven't really had any opportunities to make, like, drastic changes. Okay, so what's going on? It's now 49%. I mean, the situation and everything is still bad. I mean, that's not great. What's going on? Okay. Balagan farmers are seeking support as the city's agricultural industry is falling behind. The farmers point out that the lack of access to modern farming equipment and insufficient infrastructure are major hurdles. Fair. Foreign. Minister of Rural Development, Gus Manager, has been touring the Gruny region in Borin as part of his research for the new Rural Development Plan. The tour includes several site visits and meetings with local officials and communities. This initiative indicates a proactive approach to rural development with specific focus on understanding ground realities. Excellent. In Morbel, the Diamond Mining Corporation has discovered a new untapped coal reserve in Morbel. The corporation suggests that investments in Lorraine could significantly improve output. I mean, let me just say, that coal better be goddamn clean, okay? I don't want any of that nasty coal in here. Sarnia is experiencing a strong potential for agricultural growth. The demand for neighboring Lesbia is increasing, suggesting an opportunity for expansion in the region's agricultural sector. The local farmers are optimistic about the future, but they have also highlighted the need for strategic investment and support to capitalize on this potential. Okay. What do we got in the report here? Remains of the former Black Battalion members have been discovered near the site of the Izzam incident. The decrease has been identified as Swordish armed forces officers who were pardoned by President Sol's government and who were deployed in border security at the time. Investigations are ongoing to determine the cause and circumstances of their deaths. The discovery has been reigniting interest in the Black Battalion's history, and authorities are urging anyone with information to come forward. Okay, you know what? Actually, it is bothering me at least a little bit about how fucking orange I am. Like, I'm unnaturally orange. Maybe if I said it like this? I mean, it's a little better, but then, you know, there's a little bit like this hazing going on, which is not great. And I don't know if there's anything maybe like increases ever so slightly. We're doing it live. We're doing it live, okay? We might, you know, actually, wait. Let's fix some of the flickering. Hey, look, I'm a genius, okay? I'm now less orange. And now I know the obvious thing is, like, why don't you just set this up properly before you stream? And the problem is that every time I stream, like, the settings change on their own. I don't know if it's an OBS issue, or if it's the webcam issue, or if it's the goddamn motherfucking sun. I hate that guy up there. The piece of shit. Kind of, I hate the heat. If you've watched, you know, my stream or any of my content, you know, one of my biggest complaints is that it's just too hot. Now, I have changed what room I'm in. Like, I don't stream the same room I used to. I used to stream in the bedroom, and now I've moved it out into, like, the living room area. But we don't really use the living room at all. It's just kind of like an extra room we have. It's bigger, so hopefully it'll have better airflow. And there's windows that can open in here, too. Bedroom does not have windows that can open, unfortunately. Hopefully it'll be good in the future. But yeah, I hate the sun. I hate the heat. When I was in Taiwan, in April, you know how hot it gets there? It was 1 in the morning. 1 a.m. We were walking to our hotel room. This was in... I'm going to pull up... this was in... Was it in Kaohsiung? Or Taichung? I don't know exactly where it was. But, let's see. It was 1 in the morning. 1 in the morning. It was 40 degrees outside. Which is, in Fahrenheit, 104. 104 degrees, 95% humidity at 1 in the morning. In fucking April. It shouldn't be that hot. And then we fly back to Toronto, right, after experiencing 40-degree night times, and it's like, oh, it's like 7 outside right now in May. Even then, like, even today was like 16, and it's fucking June. How am I supposed to feel pride when I'm a little chilly, you know? Actually, like, what is the temperature today? Temperature in Toronto. It's 12 degrees in Toronto right now. Summer is in like 3 weeks. What the fuck's that? What's going on here? Why is it so cold? Not that I'm complaining. I mean, it's weird for me to complain, but still. Okay, let's have a delicious dinner. We were in Lotheenberg to work on the business councils to assess the weaknesses of the economy. Simon organized a dinner with an affluent economic figureheads of Sordland. When we arrived, the streets were bustling with activity, even though the atmosphere in the country was tense. Lotheenbergers didn't seem very worried. Together with Walter Tusk, Edith Agnock, Michael Evan, and Simon Hall, we entered the renowned Esteria restaurant by the coast. Have I seen these people before? George economist and banker, chairwoman of the central bank. Oh, I skipped too much by accident. You were the co-chair of the National Business Council. Okay, you're nerds, basically. A short blonde man who embroidered pocket red manager greeted us and waved his arms in excitement as he told us how pleased he was to have us in his establishment. Beaming with pride, he led us to a private room and got us a seat at a large table, covered for the occasion with a maroon tablecloth. We were quickly served by a group of servers, and Walter spoke as they started taking our orders. I recommend the Lotheenberg salmon, President. You have to taste our local delicacy here, the best in Sordland. I do like salmon. It is by far the best fish. So you know what? I will order the salmon, main course, and the servers took their notes and asked us about the second dish. I mean, rice is a decent choice. Salad. I'm not a rabbit, so you know, let's go with the rice option here. The servers placed glass in front of us and served us bread and water. After they were done taking orders, they quickly left us alone in a private room. Mr. President, I didn't have the possibility to thank you for coming today. Your presence means a great deal. Indeed, sir, it's an honor to dine with you. You know what? It's great to be here with the members of the Business Council. I'll be nice to them. I see no reason not to be. We should thank Simon for organizing this meeting. There's no need for that. I just hope everybody enjoys the evening. Simon gestured at the expensive-looking red wine bottle, the one that the servers had just brought to the table. Mr. President. Just say no. I'm not going to drink any of this shit. You know what? I will simply nod. I'm not going to say yes, like I'm just confused. Like, yeah, like, what are you talking? Yes, nod. I nodded at him. He started to carefully pour some wine into my glass and waited for me to taste before filling it up, and I took a small sip. It was bitter. Honestly, tastes like any other wine. How is it? Is it taste to your liking? It has a sour and delicate vegetable character. Is it Arcacia I'm tasting? I love how you can just, like, kind of be an asshole. You're like, it's fine. It's okay. You know what? Is it Arcacia I'm tasting? What? No. I'm an idiot. You may be tasting the yolk from the barrels, or maybe it's the gooseberries. It's definitely not Arcacia, Mr. President. No, I've said the worst thing, which is they know I'm not upper class. After filling up everybody's glass, Simon stood up and raised his glass. I'd like to raise a toast to all of you here today. We're meeting here tonight in difficult times, but I believe that with hard work, cooperation, and trust, we'll get through this period as well. And I'd like to thank Mr. Rayne again for his decisiveness when it comes to economic policies. And I'm sure we will continue. We'll stop this recession. I also want to thank Mr. Tuss for being here with us today. His presence is an honor. And of course, my colleagues from the Business Council, Mrs. Agnew and Mr. Evan. Without you, none of this would have been possible. Let's drink to future cooperation and growth for a prosperous Sordland. Middle-class scum. God, no! I don't want to be middle class! Everybody raised their glass and toasted each other. After a couple of more minutes, the servers arrived with our meals. The food tasted amazing. Walter was right. This place must have been the best in all of Haven. So, did you find the food to be the best fine dining restaurant in Lockhaven, Mr. President? Fine food is like fine art? The masterpiece? It's okay. I love these responses. You know what? It's like a fine art. But this particular one is a masterpiece. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Art is something else. It embodies so much about us and what the world that surrounds our lives. The food can... There's an art for everything. The art of making money. Food, wine, and love. Walter, he looks like a lover. Okay? Imagine get... like, you know, not to be crude... Not to be too crude, but imagine getting eaten out with this little mustache tickling in the eye. It's got to be like an experience. This stream, why is anybody here? How are things going on in the Maroon Palace? The pressures must have increased after you attended that funeral. Can you even feel the little mustache? I mean, I don't know. I'm going to say yes. You know, probably. Maybe like one of the big curly ones. I feel like your advisor could leave a proper beard burn. I don't know, maybe some people like that. It did, but you know what? It was the right decision. Right decision. Of course, I didn't mean to criticize your decision. As we conversed with Mikhail, I heard Walter raise his voice in an apparent argument with Edith and Simon. We both stopped to listen. Arcasia knows the right way of doing business. Their approach to the world is real and raw. I prefer that cutthroat approach in comparison to the niceties. Well, I mean, it's a nice country to visit too. I have traveled there often on business trips. Their attitude on all countries are nice to visit if you have the cash. What else can you know what? Don't let them talk. Let them talk. It certainly depends on what you're looking for. Cultural tourism doesn't require a fancy hotel. The last time I went somewhere for that sort of thing was at university. And even then, we had our own wild times thanks to Karnat's connected entourage. Also, Walter is taking us down this rabbit hole again. By the way, I saw that the construction of the highway has already started. But I have concerns about the company. I hope that they do a good job. And I expect that the project will bring increased investments for Magnolia. The mood is already becoming positive. I have to congratulate Mr. Rayne for starting such a massive project. Thank you for your support, Mr. Avon. Of course. Mr. Hole deserves credit, of course. Our great economic minister. Is there a joke coming? Why? I thought you said you were great at economy. He laughed. I heard that you bought a new villa, Simon. I don't comment on rumors, but I'll make an exception since we're among friends. It's true. New villa's a bit much. You know what? Where is it? Where is the property? I want to know. It's just a small seaside villa on the outskirts of Confront, but it's just a modest house with a swimming pool and a small golf course on the property. Very modest, very modest. You're becoming a neighbor of Marcel Caronti. Great city to buy real estate in. You know, okay, you got a new neighbor then. Not really. His place is very remote. Conrad has his way of pulling certain people in, it seems. Edith was the one sitting on my left. Gently put her hand over my arm for a few seconds. Come on, let's not talk about finance or politics for now. We came here to relax. She turned to Walter. I thought we came to talk about the economy and politics. Isn't that right, gentlemen? They nodded at her and they took a sip from their drinks. She slightly leaned towards me. So, Mr. Rayne, why don't you tell us what's behind that strong character of yours? I heard that you were brought up in the capital and experienced all the power shifts as it happened. Is that right? It must have been tough. You know what? I didn't suffer much thanks to my family. We didn't have much, but, you know, we were stable. Very humble of you. I never met your family, Mr. President. How are they doing, if you don't mind me asking? We're not talking about my family. We don't talk much since I became president. I mean, I have no reason to think that they're not doing great. But they're doing great. We have no problems. By the way, this is a very suspicious thing to say, right? Like, nobody asked it. No one assumed that you were having problems. So bringing up the fact that there is no problems implies that there might be a few problems. It's great to hear. Your son must be very proud of you. Family is everything. My advice would be to make sure that Frank has a solid relationship with you. He is your future, after all. And, he's a teenager. Why do you even care? He's going through the teenager period. It's difficult to connect with him. He's a little shy. I wish that was my son's biggest problem. Darren seems to be doing fine. I saw that his yacht party in Benfey made the local news. Well, the rascal didn't even ask for permission to use the yacht before he just took it. Basically stole it. The good news is that I finally convinced him to go to university. He'll be studying the economics in Latvian business school. It's a good choice. Having a degree in Sordland separates you from the rabble. And we especially need more people who understand economics. Maybe your son will be a great future economist. I wouldn't count on that. But I agree that we need more economists to enter politics. It's unfortunate Edward Alfonso was the only leader who actually studied economics. He turned to me. Not that I mean anything against you, Mr. Rayne. Look what he caused. Studying doesn't get you to the finish line. What did you just... Mikhail? He's an inspiration for all reformists. I'll be nice. Again, I have no reason to be mean to these people. At least not yet. He was. He truly wanted to transform this country into a modern nation. His term was very difficult, though. He got destroyed. Correction. It wasn't his policy that destroyed him. It was the old guard. I mean, they are a big threat. What do you mean? I mean, we kind of know what he means. We already know the old guard is not, it's not great. Had a gut feeling. I mean, they are a big threat. They are a big threat. He threatened their economic power base over the country through vast privatization plan. They removed him and backed you after. Walter, stop with your conspiracy theories. I think we've had enough drinks. Everybody went quiet. After a long silence, followed by some chit-chat, Walter ordered a bottle of whiskey. That's one good-looking bottle. The waiters brought out one of the finest Arcasian whiskeys. It was time for a toast. You know, I'll do the toast. To a constructive and beneficial future. To an equal society without class differences. I mean, a constructive and beneficial future, I mean, again, that seems like a good choice. I like this one's so funny. It's just like, I'm going to have like a big business meeting. I'm going to have like Elon Musk, and there's going to be, you know, Zuckerberg, and there's going to be, oh, okay, YouTube disconnect for a second. And all the big names, all the big rich people, and I just start pulling out my copy of The State and Revolution and start reading it to them. They have society without class differences. I toasted egalitarianism and I got an awkward silence. Okay, I think, you know, to a constructive and beneficial future. I think that seems reasonable. They say hope dies last. To the future. Raised. I think it's time to call it a night. Ida stood up. Most of us were all a little tipsy at this point. I want to thank you, Mr. President, for joining us, and you, Simon, for putting it all together. Thank you, Ida, for joining for a bunch of ugly rich men. You know what? Thank you all for being here. It was great. Thank you. Thanks for being here. After bidding our farewells, we slowly walked out of the restaurant. The moon was shining bright as everybody except Walter left for their luxury cars. Mr. President, a moment alone, please. He called me inside the small VIP lounge. What do you want? Look, usually the Lotheenberg spokesperson doesn't directly comment on the administration, but I'd like to say a few things since this was a special evening. I'm all ears. Finally, a president that listens to the people. It won't be easy to pass a new constitution through the Assembly and the Supreme Court. We could help you get it through if in return you help us with a few economic requests. Walter lit his cigar and took a few drags before continuing. Many in the group are disappointed in your economic direction that you took by promoting an inefficient planned economy. Good relations. We don't share similar interests with Lotheenberg. Yet, we live in the same country, don't we? Let's settle these differences. He looked me in the eye. You rejected our previous discreet offer to pick Underhall Construction for the execution of the first mega infrastructure project. This action led to a disappointment in the group. We are aware of the upcoming tax meeting, and it would be a step in the right direction if private corporations could get a tax cut. To boost the economy with job creation, of course, and a positive side effect would be our support for the administration throughout the entire term. I won't promise you anything. I make them objectively. I can't promise you anything. Let's not be too hasty. The recession will end if Lotheenberg is on your side, President. Can't we all just be friends? No, I don't trust Walter at all. It's a shame. I did offer you a peace branch. It's awkward silence. Either way, President, we are here and always ready to work with you to change your mind. Do not forget that. I will think about it, but not now. Walter left and Sergei came to pick me up. I entered the car and we drove down to a residence in Lockhaven. Sergei took the seaside route. Okay.